The murder trial of an Ohio police officer accused in the 2023 shooting death of a pregnant mother, Takia Young, resumes tomorrow. Officer Connor Grubb is charged with multiple counts of murder, involuntary manslaughter, and felonious assault in the deaths of the 21-year-old and her unborn child. Grubb has pleaded not guilty. ABC News contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmire joins me now to talk about this. Brian, thank you for being with us. So the prosecution cross-examined Sergeant Eric Moynihan on Friday, who was the other officer on the scene. Moynihan testified that he was surprised when he heard Officer Grubb fire a shot during that interaction with Takia Young. What does this mean for the defense?
Yeah, so it's an important aspect of this case because you have Moynihan, who is there seeing the same incidents as Grubb is, the individual who's being charged with those counts that you put out there. And the jury is going to have to look at this and say, okay, if this officer in this scene and the same particular facts did not see a reason to either take out his firearm or discharge his firearm, why did an officer in a similar situation believe it be appropriate? And in evaluating whether or not his response is reasonable, this might be detrimental to the defense overall. But ultimately, Grubb may take the stand and may cure some of these issues.
That's a really interesting point. And Brian, prosecutors say that Grubb did not say he fired his gun out of fear that the other officer or anyone else in the parking lot was under threat or serious harm of death. In your opinion, does that evidence support the argument?
Yeah, it's a strong argument for the prosecution. So we're in somewhat out of a misorder here in the sense of the defense had had the opportunity to call some of their witnesses. The prosecution is still putting on their case. And the reason why we've had these misorder of witnesses just for scheduling. The prosecution still has their case. But we heard a report from Officer Grubb read into the record where he's describing the events, but doesn't say some of the key language that you would want from a self-defense case, that you're acting because of fear of either death or serious physical injury. And that report was close in time when this incident occurred. And so the prosecution is going to hone in on that and say, hey, shortly after this incident, this is what he said. Yes, when the defense has their opportunity to put on their case and he takes the stand, he may say something different, but the prosecution is going to hone in on that piece of material and try to make that the cornerstone of their case.
So, Brian, what happens next in this trial?
So we know the prosecution still has some witnesses to put forward. I think we're going to see the defense put on their witnesses, and there might be a battle of the experts, so to speak. We heard a reconstructionist expert from the prosecution say that Grubb could have gotten out of the way. He wasn't in serious danger from the vehicle. I would expect the defense to put on their witness or their expert and say, hey, this is a 3,500-pound weapon that could have seriously harmed Grubb, and that's why he had to use deadly force. And then ultimately, I do expect Grubb to take the stand and testify as well as to what he saw, what he heard, and what he felt. And then we'll have the case put in the hands of the jury.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to watch if he does take the stand. Brian Buckmire, thank you for being with us today.